Namaste and welcome to Awaken Natal Yoga with Premaloka. So I've had a couple of requests through for some natal yoga, and it's been a while coming and I haven't had an opportunity this year to do a pregnancy yoga course, so I thought I would try a little video for you to start, and hopefully it will be the first of several. While I have the yoga shala built on the front of our property, I'm going to have to come to you from outside when I can. So I am a qualified natal yoga instructor and have a separate qualification in natal yoga, so you're in safe hands. And I'm the mother of 6 children, and I used yoga as a part of my wellness program pre-birth, part of my birth plan and aftercare birth plan. So we're going to start with just a gentle practice today and work through a few of my favorite postures that can be a part of your yoga journey through to birth, and then also be incorporated in your aftercare plan as well. So although it's obviously breathing and the breath aspect of yoga, the pranayama is such an incredibly vital and important part of your pregnancy and your delivery plan, the posture aspect and asana aspect of yoga is also an extremely important part. It's difficult, I think, for a lot of people to find that line between what's overdoing it physically and also what's being too gentle or too passive in your movement and exercise. I'm a firm believer in keeping fit and well and active, and it's certainly been very helpful through all of my births. And walking, I think, is an incredibly important part of that. So I continue to walk, but walked every day that I was pregnant, right up until the day that, and including the day that I usually birthed. And I kept my walking, reasonably physical. It wasn't just a gentle stroll along the beach, although there were plenty of those. I walked for wellness and for exercise. And then, of course, I practiced my yoga and my pranayama every day also, and these were incorporated in my birth. So I'm going to ask you to come to sit cross-legged and focus on your breath. If it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, that's all good. You can sit with your legs open and apart. You can use a blanket or a bolster if you like to tip under the buttocks to help a little with comfort. Often it's easier when you're bigger to maybe use a folded blanket. For the purpose of now, I'll just pop my bolster and it's just under pulling the fleshy bits of my buttocks out. I'm not sitting on it as such, it's just helping me to keep a nice straight spine and the front energy passage of the body, Arohan, open. And so with the eyes closed and your awareness to your breath, I'm going to ask you to visualize, see or imagine your breath as a stream of pure white light. I'm going to ask you to visualize drawing that pure white light in through the navel and surrounding the womb with the gentle luminous white light. I'm going to ask you to imagine drawing the white light to within the womb and enveloping the baby in this pure, gentle stream of luminous white light. Visualize, see and imagine this. Lengthen the breath and deepen the breath. The breath is entering the body through the nostrils and it's leaving the body through the nostrils. Just continue to focus on drawing the luminous white prana in through the navel, surrounding the baby uterus, all the reproductive organs bathed in this beautiful white light. And see the baby peacefully sleeping within the womb. Go of this practice, remaining with the blanket or the cushion if you have one, if you prefer, at the edge of the buttocks, gently fluttering the eyelids open, casting the gaze out along the floor or the mat in front of you, and placing your splayed fingers over the kneecaps, the tops of the knees. Just for a couple of breaths, draw the energy in through the spine and let it travel up the spine to where the spine ends at the top of the head at Agnya, and then exhale down through the spine again. Bring straightness to the spine. On the exhalation, ease the shoulders away from the ears. Ease any tension that you're holding within your jaw. The navel, let's not lose sight of the navel, and it's hard to do often in pregnancy, is slightly contracted. Continue this throughout pregnancy, this connection with our navel, this connection with our abdominal muscles. We need to keep our abdominal muscles strong and find that balance between over-exerting them and under-exerting them, because we do want strong, healthy abdominal muscles for birth, but we don't want to exercise them too dynamically to cause or have a part in any separation. So with the hands now splayed over the knees, on the next deep in-breath, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, push them all the way back as the traps and the scapula come together, lower them down and complete a full circle. I'm going to ask you to do this 4 times in total in your own time. Full circular movements. And then inhaling up, pushing the shoulders as far forward as you can, and as you do, you will concave through the chest, drop them down and complete a rotation in the opposite direction, and 4 of these. Placing those fingers, keeping them there on the kneecaps, taking a deep breath in, lengthening through the spine. Lean a little forward, just as far as the back and the belly allows, and then swoop over to one side, the left or right, it doesn't matter which. Hold on to the knees, come back, sweep to the other side, and start to practice these gentle torso rotations. And as you do, the breath comes spontaneously. depending on how physically well and strong you feel. You can release the knees and come back a little, and be aware that as you do, you are asking for more strength and effort from your abdominal muscles, and then continue over, coming forward just as much as the belly and the baby allow, and then coming to the side and back, and then pausing on the next forward motion, sit bones connected to the earth, and move in the opposite direction. And several more of these gentle torso rotations. And you can just keep them small and gentle if that's all that you feel like doing today. Keep the navel engaged, and awareness of activating and using your abdominal muscles. And then coming to pause and upright with a straight spine, shoulders released away from the ears. And we'll just release off a little through our back, bringing the arms up to shoulder height, and bringing the hands and the elbows together. Inhaling, opening the arms out wide. Exhaling, crossing the elbows. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, keeping the navel engaged. We're going to come back. Inhale, and this time we'll cross the opposite elbows. Inhaling. Open wide through the chest. Keep the arms up at shoulder height. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. If it's comfortable, you can link the hands here. If not, just have the backs of the hands together. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, draw the elbows down towards baby. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just release the hands. Place one hand on top of the elbow and one hand underneath. Lift the arms up if you can, and bring them above the crown of the head. Exhale. Inhale. Straightness through the spine. Deep breath in. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, navel engaged, and release the hands. And as you do, tilt back a little, navel engaged, lift and release the legs out to wide in front of you. Using your hands, you can keep the knees bent slightly, press the heels into the floor, lift the buttocks up, reposition yourself, pull the fleshy bits of the buttocks out from behind you, connect with the sit bones to the earth. The spine is lovely and straight. Feel comfortable as you sit. If you need to reposition your legs and find that place of comfort, feel free to do so. Just keep the navel engaged and the spine nice and straight. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. I'm going to move into a gentle dynamic twist. Inhaling, arms out to the sides, arms at shoulder height. And then as we exhale, we're just going to sweep one hand towards the extended foot, and the other hand comes behind us. The thumb is towards the back of the room, the thumb is pointing upwards. hand towards the back of the room, and the opposite hand comes just towards the toe. If it's comfortable and you have the length and flexibility to move towards touching the toe, please feel free to do so. Inhale back to center, exhale to the other side, inhaling and exhaling. And it could be nice and dynamic or nice and gentle, just depending on how you feel today. So the thumb comes up behind you, the gaze is cast towards the thumb. And if you're further along and the belly's impeding you from coming too far forward, then you can just be with a reasonably upright spine and keep the rotating motion. And then just slowing down until you come all the way back to neutral and forward facing. Draw the knees up towards you a little bit, release off, lean back a little. Bring the heels up in together and let the knees fall out to the sides. Butterfly or asana is a beautiful pose during pregnancy, helping to keep our hips supple and stretched and open and flexible. Keep, encouraging the fluidity and movement within the hip socket. So you can hold on to your feet, you can interlace your fingers around your toes, whatever feels comfortable. But on the inhale, draw the knees up towards the shoulders, and on the exhale, release the knees towards the earth. The heels come up towards the groin, and inhaling and exhaling. The arms are drawn long, the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, and you just gently flap the knees like the wings of a butterfly. Don't go too fast like a fly, like a gentle, graceful butterfly. Deep breaths in and out, drawing this nourishing prana in toward the baby. One more, and then just releasing the feet out, back out to the sides, coming back to wide-legged. We're going to do one of my favorite pre-birth and post-birth asanas. This is called Chaki Chalanasana, or stirring the pot. It's an energy releasing posture at Shakti Bandha, and it's extremely toning to the female reproductive organs. It's excellent at helping to keep toned during pregnancy, and most excellent at to help bring everything back together and into good physical condition after birth. So we just bring the hands out to shoulder height once again and interlace the fingers, and it's just like you're holding a big spoon and you're about to stir a pot. The breath is simply fluid and spontaneous throughout the stirring motion. So we're going to inhale first and draw the prana up our straight spine, and then we just sweep over towards the left. Stir all the way forward, just as far as it's comfortable for you and baby allows. Then stir all the way over towards the right, and then we create a full stir as we lean back. Once again, just as much as is comfortable. This requires us to use our abdominal strength, draw the navel in towards the spine to protect the back, and sweep all the way around. safe to do all the way through pregnancy. You can simply, as you get bigger, and if you're feeling tired or the strain, you can simply create small stirring motions. It's important to go in both directions. Or if you're feeling stronger and you can and have the abdominal strength, then you can create these larger circles. Being aware that the further back you go, then the more abdominal strength required. And what we try to do is we try to keep the hands the same distance off the floor on the forward part of the rotation and the backward part. And then I'm going to sway over towards the right and I'm going to reverse my rotation. If you know Mula Bandha, your root lock, and you feel like drawing up the root lock, isolating the perineum from the anus, drawing up through the walls of the vagina, then draw up and firm and lock this Muladhara or Mula Bandha lock in. It's similar to a Kegel exercise, but we are isolating the perineum and the pelvic walls. And just one more. And coming to pause and drop the hands down. Leaning back in a comfortable and safe way. Support yourself, draw the legs together. We're going to pop them all the way up. You can have your legs nice and wide, but just bring them up, and we can pause and make sure that the hips are safely aligned back within the hip sockets, and then stretching the legs out long in front of you. We're going to do a little forward bend, but we're going to forward bend with Janu Shirshasana, which is a good gentle forward bend for when you're pregnant. And we're simply leaning forward, taking hold of the heel of the left or the right foot, placing it up near the groin. This allows, as you forward bend, the space for the belly to flow forward. So you're only going to forward bend as much as you feel capable of doing and as much as your belly and baby allows. Make sure once again that the fleshy bits of the buttocks are pulled out behind you. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears, and then as you exhale, you flow forward, folding the upper part of the body over the lower, releasing off behind you, dropping the hands down to wherever it feels comfortable, and then dropping the head down. Obviously, depending on how far along you are, you won't be coming all the way down to try to touch your head to your knees. You will just be allowing space for the baby to come to flow, or the belly to flow forward. Walk the hands along. Just come to where you can feel a gentle, beautiful stretch up through the gastric nemus and the hamstring. The quadratus lumboris, the muscles flanking from the hip to the spine. Beautiful warmth and stretch through the back. Hold for a few breaths, breathing deeply. And then when you're ready, using your hands for support, walk the hands all the way back up to upright. And then releasing off one knee, leaning forward, taking hold of the other knee, and repeating. Inhaling the arms all the way up. And when you're ready, exhaling, pivoting forward, hinging forward from the hips, drop the hands down to whatever feels good for you, and move into the stretch. Breathing deeply. Hold for 3 to 6 full deep breaths. same applies. Walk the hands back up until you're all the way up and upright. Pop the bent knee up, realign the hip within its socket, and then stretch the legs out long in front of you. So I'm going to ask you to come to lay on the ground, and I'm going to take you through Asana, the bridge or shoulder pose, not the shoulder stand. For unless you're doing a lot of yoga, then and feel comfortable, you can do the shoulder stand during birth up until up until maybe you're heading towards your 3rd trimester. It would really be very dependent on your level of practice and how fit you are. But what you can always do is legs up the wall, and you just come buttocks to the wall and lift the legs up. And it's an incredibly good place to spend 5 or 10 minutes a day, especially as you progress further through the pregnancy. It's very beneficial to have the legs up the wall and the blood coming down towards the thighs and the reproductive area and the baby. It's very soothing, very good for the legs and the circulation. But for now, I'm going to ask you to come to lay down. Bring the heels up towards the outside edges of the buttocks. I'm on a little bit of a slope here on the ground, so hopefully I won't roll over. And we're just going to start with a flowing Asana. And when we inhale, we're simply going to lift the hips and pelvis off the ground and float the arms back alongside the ears. And as we exhale, we're going to roll the spine back down. Inhale, press into the soles of the feet, especially the big toe. Lift, arms float up alongside the ears. Exhale, slowly unfurl the spine back towards the mat. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. I'm going to ask you to keep on flowing. If you would like to hold, you can lift up, keep the arms just where they are, pressing the palms into the floor, and lift the chest up towards the chin, and just have the arms here for support. If you're familiar with the pose and you would like to hold for longer, then you can walk the arms in underneath the scapula, the upper arms underneath the scapula. Lift the chest up towards the chin. Squeeze the thighs together and hold, breathing deeply. And you can just do this for a few breaths, or if you're feeling good and strong, hold for longer. When it's time to release, release the hands out to the side, release the shoulders, and slowly roll the spine back down the floor. And a lovely recovery would be to place the heels of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. Make sure that the shoulders and the back are released. Breathing deeply. Press the feet together. If you're experiencing any discomfort through the hips, you can stack your fists under around with piriformises and just relax the hips onto your hands. Or if that's even too uncomfortable, then you could stack cushions underneath the thighs or bolsters and just have the thighs rest on bolsters. When you're ready and you've had enough, you can come up to sitting. You might like to turn over onto your side to come up to sitting, and supported, come all the way up. I love to counter Kandarasana with Matsyasana, the fish pose, and it's an absolutely beautiful pose to do during pregnancy, all the way up. The further along you are, the more you might like to have supported Matsyasana, and you can do this with bolsters or just cushions from your sofas. You can just stack cushions up, and we're just going to counter the movement or any restriction that may have been in our neck. If you weren't using a bolster, you would place the hands maybe slightly underneath the buttocks, draw the elbows together, lift up through the chest, and lower the forehead, or sorry, the crown of the head down towards the floor. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you with the bolster. Breathing deeply. It's such a beautiful pose. It opens all the way up through the chest, the thoracic area of the spine. It will help you to fill your lungs to their fullest capacity. It's most helpful when baby gets bigger and bigger and the uterus is pushing up into the lungs, and you're finding it harder to breathe deeply. While spending 5 or 10 minutes in a supported Matsyasana fish pose will be extremely beneficial, and I'm sure you'll find therapeutic. You can put more cushions on top and create a higher base for yourself, which will open the chest up more fully, get full openness, and on a spiritual level, an opening and awakening of Anahata, which is the chakra within the Hridayakasha or heart space, and it's directly behind the sternum and in between the spine. So I'm going to leave it there for postures today, and I'm going to finish with a little relaxation for you. I have to say that Kandarasana and Matsyasana are two really beautiful and important poses or asanas for keeping well during your pregnancy, and I couldn't recommend them highly enough, as well as a few of the others we've done today, Chakichalanasana, Tatalyasana, the butterfly. But we'll do a little breath. I'm going to show you a little breath today called Kapalbhati, and it's often referred to as the yogic form of sort of oxygen for birthing. It's a breath that I use through a lot of my pregnancies at certain stages. It's simply a very passive inhalation and a dynamic exhalation with a focus of a small contraction at the navel. And it's a very cooling breath. You want to use a visualization or a feeling, it would be that cool water was washing up over the back of the brain and the head and flowing down from Sahasrara over the front part of the face and head and down through the body, or up the back of the brain and over the front. So it looks and sounds a little like this. So you can hear the dynamicness of the exhalation, but the inhalation is completely passive. You just exhale, let go of the slight contraction at the navel, and the inhalation is passive and just enters the body of its own accord, so that all you can actually hear is the exhalation, and the eyes will be closed and the spine will be straight, and it's an excellent pose to practice, and to practice every day. And as I come back and do another video the next time, I'll explain a little further about how Kapalbhati can help you during the birthing process. But for now, you could just practice. So the spine will be straight. If it's comfortable, thumb and forefinger in Chin Mudra. The eyes gently close. To start with, take a full inhalation. Push the exhalation dynamically out of the nostrils. Draw the navel in slightly. Then release the navel, and just of its own accord, the breath comes back. Then you're ready to exhale and move into your own rhythm. It can be slow, very slow, and then when you get used to it, it can be fast. And if you feel lightheaded or dizzy at all, then you can pause and then start again. Sometimes it does have that effect on you. That's okay. You just need to keep on practicing. That is one of the benefits of when you're using it during labor, is that it has it's the same effect of using the oxygen tanks to help with an easing of the pain. And we'll just do a few more. Taking a deep inhalation and a long, full exhalation. And the shoulders are eased away from the ears, and then come to lay down. Lay down on your mat or on a blanket. Lay in Shavasana. And in full Shavasana, the legs are apart, feet splayed out to the sides, the arms are away from the outside edges of the body. Chin tucked in slightly towards the pit of the throat, length through the neck. The lips are together, the teeth are apart, and the tongue rests gently off the roof of the mouth. The eyes are closed, and the focus is on your breath. And we're just going to do a little gentle relaxation, where to start with, you're aware of the energy of the breath entering the body at the soles of the feet and washing up and down the body in waves of warmth, softness and calm. Beautiful waves of prana entering the body and leaving the body at the soles of the feet. Of the body becoming soft and warm and relaxed. And if it's not comfortable for you to be on your back in Shavasana, then please feel free to lay on your side with a cushion between your knees and thighs. Make yourself comfortable, completely comfortable. Focusing on your breath. And now I'm going to ask you to turn the breath golden. Visualize, see, or imagine that the breath is a golden stream of prana. And now it's going to enter the body at the navel, as it did at the beginning of the practice. And gold is a particularly healing, energetic color. So imagine that the breath that enters the body at the navel is golden. And as it enters the body, it surrounds the womb and the baby. And this energy of liquid gold, and with it comes healing, calm, softness, and a warmth. And you're aware of only this. Breathe in and out, you're visualizing this liquid gold entering the navel and flooding the abdominal space, surrounding the uterus, the womb, and the baby, with its gentle, golden, healing, calm, and warmth. You feel deeply relaxed. And then the gold starts to move up the body and flow down the body. With each breath it moves up to the crown of the head to Sasara. It moves down the body, past Muladhara, the neck of the cervix, and all the way down to the toes. Until you can visualize that the whole akasha, the whole entire space of the body is filled with this beautiful, energizing, calming, healing energy and breath. Just continue until this golden energy has completely filled the vessel, which is your physical body, and that you can see, visualize, and imagine your whole body as this golden pranic vessel. And then transfer your awareness up into the Chitakasha, the mind space, and look to the screen on the inside of the forehead and see your body as it is now, suspended within the infinite velvety darkness of the Chitakasha. It's this golden liquid vessel. Visualize yourself, the womb, the baby within the womb, all filled with this golden liquid healing, calming warmth. And then watch as you radiate golden energetic vibes and vibrations out from your physical body into your bliss body, or auric field surrounding your physical body, and then out into the atmosphere around you. Just continue to watch this in your mind's eye. Golden prana, energizing and vital, filling you and the baby, and moving out from your body in energetic waves out into the atmosphere around you. And then deepen the breath, large, full, deep breaths. Feel the sensation of the breath around the nostrils, the coolness on the inhalation, the warmth on the exhalation. Send the breath back to your physical body and start to become aware of your physical body. And when you're fully back to your physical body and aware, safely and gently turning over onto your side, making yourself comfortable, continuing to breathe and connect with the baby, the physical body, the energy and space around you. Completely relax and let go. Hari Om Tat Sat. This practice is now complete, and I'd like to say thanks very much for joining me, and that, as I said earlier, this has come after several requests for some natal yoga, and hopefully this is the first of several. And that we'll talk a little bit more about yoga's gas with Kapalbhati, our breath that we practiced earlier during the next video, and some more about some really good fundamental asanas that you should be able to, or would hopefully be able to incorporate, if not every day, several times a week, into your daily routine, that will encourage general overall physical, emotional and mental and breath wellness throughout your pregnancy, and enable you to come back to your vital self quickly again after a beautiful birth. So thank you for joining me, and sending you and your baby love. Namaste. Namaste.